real time.
Hi, it's Lauren. Welcome to another lyric analysis. Today's song is Save Myself. It is the 5th and last song of the blue section and the 25th song overall. So the basic lesson of this song is that you have to save yourself before you can save the rest of the world. And we're going to talk about star seeds, we're going to talk about spirituality, and we're going to go through the lyrics. So let's begin. All right, we're starting off strongly depressing with the first lyric. I failed humanity and myself. I came here to help, but I can't even save myself. As I've gone through this sort of spiritual awakening, I've just realized how my true self and my true values are really with odds with the world. And it got me into the starseed concept. I see myself as someone where my purpose is just to bring new ideas and create change. But I'm having trouble doing that because I'm having so many symptoms, so much anxiety, and I feel like I'm failing in that mission. So it's a really ironic song because it's about failure, but yet the act of expressing these feelings is the success. So basically, I feel I failed humanity because I didn't make the world a better place. And I also failed myself because I couldn't recover. And then I came here to help. I strongly feel like Earth is just not my home, not where I belong, just because the structures of the world, I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what is this? This is bizarre. So just the things that people think are normal just don't feel normal to me. Like the idea of like money for money's sake, the idea of power, I'm like, what's the point of having power over others? If you want true power, fix your own life. Honestly, I just kind of want to wear a cute outfit and get some coffee and create beautiful things. That's all I want to do. It's what I care about, frankly. The idea of having to work some kind of job that you probably don't like just to afford to live, I'm like, why even be alive? Anyway, so I came here to help. And by help, meaning just be myself, bring some new ideas and perspectives about things. And if people agree, then they can use the ideas I present. And if not, they can do their own thing. That's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to convert or change anyone from their beliefs. I'm just here to be like, hey, have you thought of this? And then, but I can't even save myself. You also have to understand I wrote this song when my symptoms, psychological and physiological, were so severe. I didn't think I was going to be living that much longer. And that's when I got into the spirituality a lot because I'm like, okay, my body and mind can only take so much more of these episodes and these symptoms. I would have an episode and it would just drain the life out of me. And then I would have another one before I recovered. And it was just like that. And nothing I did was making any difference. And I thought I was going to die probably in the next few months, maybe the next 6 months, at the rate I was going of how depleted I was. So I'm like, okay, what's next? What's on the other side? What really matters in life? The funny thing is I got better by accepting the chance that I might not achieve everything I want to in this lifetime and I might die not having had this perfect life I wanted. And how can I be okay with that? Because if I'm not, I'm going to manifest and create a hell for myself on the other side. So my purpose was in finding peace so that when I did die, like I could go to a better place, essentially. Yeah. But when I wrote this, I hadn't recovered. So I was just like, I felt like my life was over, but I can't even save myself. So it's like I failed everyone and I failed myself because I couldn't heal. Are we sufficiently depressed yet? Let's keep going. I know. I feel like with some of these lyrics, you expect me to be like super moody. Like, you don't expect the vibe. I'm like, hi, it's Lauren. Let's talk about this super just dark thing. And I'm just like, haha, look, I'm in my pastel blue thing. I feel like I'm maybe not what you expect. Let me know if I'm off, but anyway. Next part. I want it to be there to see humanity rise in real time. So this lyric speaks to basically planning your life and your incarnation from higher spiritual planes. And Earth, from a spiritual perspective, is seen as this really difficult planet to incarnate on, to learn hard lessons, and it's isolated from the rest of the galaxy, and it's in this lower frequency. So it's a really, really difficult and short life experience, but you learn a lot because there's a lot of resistance. So that's how it's sold on the higher planes. But this planet is also a really dark and corrupt and unethical place, and a lot of people are just like, this is wrong, this is unethical. So we can't interfere, so what we do is we send star seeds in to just be like, hey, do you have interest in new ways of thinking and being? If so, this is what I do, and you can choose. To see humanity rise in real time. So this early 21st century Earth time period is seen as the ascension, where the frequency is raising because of all the star seeds coming in, offering new ideas and perspectives. And in real time speaks to the idea that time is not something that is fixed and linear. It is something that is very malleable. And from certain perspectives, time moves slower or faster or in different directions. And so when I say to see humanity rise in real time, I mean to see humanity ascend in this linear progression and not all at once, which is how time is experienced in higher spiritual planes. Also, Earth is just this iconic location because it's so unique and it's so isolated. So there are no other planets like it to have this Earth experience. So in that way, it's very iconic. It's also seen as sort of in this quadrant of the galaxy, the headquarters of evil and everything bad that happens. If you want to make the galaxy a better place, it all starts with Earth and making Earth a better place. So, but I'm sinking with the ship taken over by the negative side. So basically, I came here to help make things better, but I've just been taken over by the negative side, by the negative thoughts around me, and I'm not doing what I came here to do, and I feel like that I failed. The negativity meaning I'm getting triggered by the people around me. I'm having a lot of negative thoughts about my own worthlessness, my own sense of failure, my own weakness. And my body is just on its last legs, and mentally I felt like I couldn't stand to live anymore. So I basically felt I had come here to fight this battle and I had lost in a battle that I should have won because I had the advantage. So there's a lot of shame in that, in the mental and physiological state I was in at the time when I wrote this. So fun stuff. All right, why did I choose to wear a strapless bra with this? No one will know. It's fine. Let it go. All right. Next part, it goes the third to the fifth, the ego to the heart. So the third to the fifth is about the chakras and densities. So basically there's this idea of different densities and different frequencies. So Earth traditionally is in the third density, third frequency, which is all about ego and power. And you can see that when you just look around at all the institutions that run the place. Fourth density is sort of the realm of magic and ideas. Think Harry Potter, fairies, all these magical creatures. It's sort of like an astral realm of thought. And then fifth density is what the rest of the galaxy is in. It's the average physical frequency of the rest of the universe. But Earth is in this isolated, lower frequency 3D realm. It's pretty much the only planet like that, so it's really unique. And it has people from all different kinds of species and races and soul groups to have this really like tough, horrific, but spiritually enriching lifetime. Which I'm starting to think that this Earth experience is pretty overrated and just unethical to keep going, frankly. I think if you're going to make a school for your soul to evolve, this ain't it. So, the third to the fifth refers to this third density thinking about ego and power, to the fifth, which is basically the rest of the galaxy. And fifth density is much more about love and unity. It's the frequency where a holistic society flourishes, where it's not about money and power, it's about collaboration and cooperation and individuality for everyone to have the best life possible. It's the frequency where you can have a society without money because there's abundance. So people don't take more than what they want and they need because there's no point. That makes a whole lot more sense to me. So if the Earth ascends to where the rest of the galaxy is, it'll be more that cooperation and love mindset rather than the competitive mindset that defines this realm. Next part is the ego to the heart. So most people in the world operate from more of an ego state, more of me versus them. It's very solar plexus, third chakra. And by the way, these chakras are also associated with the densities. So if you think of the solar plexus, the third chakra is the third density, which is all about identity and power and personal power. Nothing wrong with that. We all need it or else there'd be no individual people. But if you have that without the love from the heart, it creates a very cruel world that we see around us. If we want to make the world a better place, we need to stop operating from this solar plexus, me, and go up to the heart where it's about feelings and love and compassion, and we keep our individuality. We have boundaries. We don't let people take that away from us, but we feel this love and connection and unity. And so we also care about other people. So that would make the world better. Then it goes, my power has turned inward, hell-bent on destroying itself. So basically all this anger and all this hatred and all this powerlessness and all this fear and terror, instead of using it to make the world a better place and call out the things that aren't okay, I'm turning it in on myself and blaming myself for not being strong enough to overcome all of these things. So in trying to have compassion for others, I've lost compassion for myself. So I'm not suggesting, like, there's a lot of spiritual stuff about, like, oh, we have to let go of the ego. And I disagree. Like, we need an ego. We need self-confidence. There's nothing wrong with that. We need that, and we also need to be able to empathize and care about other people. It's actually bad not to have an ego and identity because then you don't have boundaries and people take advantage. So I feel like all this negativity turned inward. It's just destroying myself, and I didn't feel I had the power to stop it at the time. Chorus. I'm a California girl on the iconic planet Earth. I kind of remember planning my life and the idea of being on this like iconic planet of like this pride of like, yeah, I did the Earth experience, but then also being like in the United States, in California, like the California blonde, like going to LA, like all these iconic sites. Like I was so excited, I feel. And I'm looking at my life and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm on Earth. It's the 21st century. I'm in California. Like, I'm blonde, and I know it's like a little dark blonde, but like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. Like, I'm on this iconic journey. So I'm like, wow, like, I dreamed it up and now I'm here. It's like, oh my gosh. There's something about California and that's just so iconic, and especially because I love like singing and acting and entertainment. I just feel like, wow, like I'm part of something really cool and iconic. I thought I could help, but I can't even save myself. So, yeah. So I'm really happy to be here. I think I'm like, it's so cool that I'm living this and I'm myself. But at the time I was like, wow, I have all these beautiful things, but I can't pull my end of the bargain. And that made me really turn in on my own identity. Because I'm like, I guess who I am is weak if I have all these beautiful things, but I can't make a good life for myself. Next part, I want it to be there to see humanity shine their light. If you've researched anything about spirituality or just been alive, there's the light and the dark, the good and the evil. And also, the idea of the light is shining the light in dark places. And so light isn't inherently good or evil. Light is just showing you what's there. Light is truth. And light gets rid of the darkness really quickly, while dark can't get rid of light. Unless it actually covers the light, because the light is a source of energy and the dark is the absence of it. So, shine their light, meaning just high in frequency, not letting the evil dampen people's spirits. To see humanity shine their light, but I gave my power away, manipulated by the negative side. In terms of soul energy and spiritual power, nothing evil can ever take your power away unless you let it. Because you are the source of the power. And evil doesn't have a good connection to source. So it needs to basically siphon the energy from you in order to keep existing. So I was manipulated into giving my power away by beliefs that if I did what I was told, then I would be a good person, exploiting my desire to be a good person and to be the light into giving away my own personal truth in order to try to do the right thing that was defined by someone else's values. So yeah, I was manipulated, and that made me feel worse about myself because I'm like, wow, I couldn't see that these people who were telling me what I needed to do to be a good person didn't have my best interest in mind. It was about them. And that's hard. Next part. The third to the fifth, the ego to the heart. So third density to fifth density, which is also associated with third chakra, the solar plexus, about identity, to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, which is about self-expression, but from the heart, because the heart is in between the ego and the throat chakra, which is about self-expression. So you have a strong identity. You love yourself and other people. And then you can express yourself in the most beautiful and authentic way possible. And then the ego to the heart, meaning me versus them, is the ego, and the heart is we, without losing your identity. I have failed in my mission. This timeline is so dark. I was in hell, emotionally and physiologically, with these episodes. I was in so much pain, like it felt like I was on hospice. Like that's why I was researching this stuff, because I'm like, my body can't take much more of this. I was like contacting old friends. Like I was like tying up loose ends, and I wasn't going to commit suicide. But I could tell that my body was on its last legs, and mentally, like, my soul was like, it couldn't take much more of it. And so I was like, I can't fix it. I've been trying to fix it since I was 15. And, I was in my late 20s and nothing I did was working. In fact, everything made it worse. I would do this action, it would make it worse. I would do the opposite action, it would make it worse. Everything I did led to the same outcome of me getting worse. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing I could do except prepare for the next phase and try to make peace with my life as it is, as flawed and unfinished as it is, because I do not want to repeat it. So when I say the timeline is so dark, I do feel like it was probably the darkest timeline at that point, right before my soul reached its limit. And then the bridge, some positivity and reality check, like, I'm still alive when I'm writing this. And also, if my purpose is to just like share my ideas, then as I'm writing the song, I'm actually succeeding, ironically. I'm still here. There's still a chance I'll prevail. I'm not dead yet. There's still a chance that I'll achieve everything I wanted to in this lifetime. I could never face the chance that I could fail. But success is not guaranteed. And I always had so much anxiety because I felt that if I didn't succeed and do everything I wanted to in this lifetime, I could not live with myself. Even though I have time and I'm still here, oh my gosh, the success candle is making these like really weird noises. Let me show you, because it's weird. Okay. See if it's doing it. It's crackling. And it's making, I have never had a candle make such weird noises. Like, it's bizarre. Do you hear that? It's freaking me out. I will have to look it up. Man. Yes, I'm here. I'm alive. I still have time for this, but I might still fail. I have to live with that chance. Me accepting that I could try my hardest and still fail in life and die without achieving everything I wanted to, that created the peace that allowed me to recover enough to, finish writing these songs and do these videos and get to where I am today. So this is not guaranteed. But we're still going to try for it. But I do want it. But what I really want is these insecure feelings to go away, frankly. This creeping self-doubt that I live with every single day. Then it goes, who am I? What part of me has chosen the dark side? So I don't think of myself as a victim, because I believe everyone has their own personal frequency that attracts whatever they are into their life. So what part of me is attracting all of these negative experiences? And it's my responsibility to then work on myself to figure out why my life is in the crappy state that it is in. So that is how it works, but at the same time, that can lead to a lot of self-blame if everything around you that happens is your fault. Just think of yourself as a child that's trying to learn to manage your own energy and emotions, because that's what you are. You shouldn't get mad at a child when they can't regulate their emotions well, and so you shouldn't get mad at yourself. What part of me is unhealed? What part of me isn't being managed well? And I had a very judgmental tone and stance on that. And I think thinking of myself as a child that's doing their best and just trying to understand the problem and not judge it is something I am working on, and that has helped when I believe it. But I still have a lot of self-blame, frankly. So who am I? I think that's a good question. It's a big one. think I'm someone who just wants harmony and beauty and truth. Really. That's all I really want. But there's obviously a part of me that's either unhealed or dark and negative that I need to shine the light on. What is it? I'll tell you when I figure it out, but I think it's definitely the perfectionism, the judgment, the putting myself down, the feelings of worthlessness, the shaming myself, and this terror that if I don't have this perfect, successful, beautiful life, I am worthless and I cannot live with myself. That is a lot of pressure, a lot of fear, and I think that's why I was feeling so bad and attracting so much negativity. And then, what if I can't help? What if I won't save myself? So what if I came here to Earth and I can't do anything to help? Like, what if I just wasted my whole entire lifetime? Oops. And then, what if I won't save myself? And the word won't is the most important word in that sentence, because what if I get so caught up in these judgments about myself that I don't consider myself worth saving? And that's how I did feel about myself, and that's something I'm still working through. But everyone's worth saving, and by default, I am under everyone, so I am worth saving, and so are you. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you all the best, and have a great day. Bye.
I'm a California girl on the iconic planet Earth.